My story starts when my husband and I were married young, and a few years later realized that we couldn't have children. It was hard, and we tried to handle it on our own, and we realized that that was not working. And from there, it wasn't long after, in my 20s, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder. That was overwhelming to me. It changed everything. And as I started learning that God loved me, and started really understanding to give Him praise and glory on the bad days, they got better. And so I started praising Him on the bad as well as the good. From there, we had an opportunity to teach 11th grade Sunday school. And we had prayed for a child, and we instantly had teenagers. And they were awesome. And we had so much fun, and they all became all of our kids. And we did camps, retreats, and we just kept moving. And we had so much fun, we didn't pay attention to how many years went by. It wasn't long after that that we had a youth event. And that day, for me, changed my life forever. It revealed to me that I had bitterness that I really didn't know that I had, and that I knew it was there, but I don't think I wanted to admit it. And we were at a youth event. It was very hard for me to admit that I was the leader and I needed to step out. But God worked on me that night, and all the bitterness was gone, and I totally learned to trust in Him and give Him everything. I just felt so free, and I had no idea that God was growing my faith for what was to come. And it was a few years later that June of '04, I was diagnosed with an out-of-bone osteoma, a brain tumor that had grown into my skull. And they were able to take the tumor, and everything went better than we expected. And I was just thankful to be alive. I was young and just praising God, although I had no hair. It was okay though. And it was about a few months later, I went to the doctor for a routine checkup, and the nurse come flying in the office and told me, that I didn't tell her I was pregnant. I looked at her in disbelief and shock and amazed at God's grace and mercy. And that day I found out that I was 11 weeks pregnant. The pregnancy was wonderful, and this led us to May of '05, the day after Mother's Day, when I received a call from my doctor. And this was harder. It was. She told me it was critical, that I needed to get to the hospital, that they were going to need to deliver the baby immediately, that I was in complete liver failure. I remember driving and just thinking, it's okay, this is okay, Lord, And we were very calm. And in fact, they kept asking me, was I really okay, and understood, and just told them they had no idea. So yes, as before they put me to sleep, they prayed with me, and I also felt just God's anointing power, and that either way it was going to be okay. And 2 days later, I woke up and I had the most beautiful, healthy baby girl. And it's amazing what God can do in your life when you really allow Him to use you and to move forward and to not be afraid. My name is Marsha Johnson, and that is my story.